How we going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. It's a bit more nightmarish. I'm filming at night now for a change. Here we go. We're carrying on with Samurai season. This is, well, technically day 5, but this is going to be video number 4. And we are talking about Yojimbo tonight. Yojimbo and Sanjuro. So, normally I've been doing one video per film, and I watched Yojimbo last night, and it was really late, and I was just knackered, so I just had to get in bed. So I've watched Sanjuro tonight, and I thought, well, why don't I just do a double bill and talk about both? What harm's that going to do? So, Yojimbo is carrying on really from Akira Kurosawa's ongoing working relationship with, let me get his name right, Toshiro Mifune. And I think Yojimbo is probably the role Toshiro Mifune's most famous for. It's the more, it's that iconic samurai warrior image. And if you were to do like a generic drawing of a samurai, you would probably draw him something the way the man with no name. Because, his name isn't Yojimbo. Yojimbo is translated as the bodyguard. And, whenever someone asks his name, he basically just says his name is whatever he can see at the time. And I think Sanjuro is Mulberry Field. So that's the name of the next film. But so I'll just call him Sanjuro then. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, he's just got that look now, and he's a lot older than what he is. Well, he seems older than what he is in Seven Samurai. Seven Samurai was 1954, and Yojimbo was 1961. But I think it's safe to say, I don't think it's too controversial to say that this is his most iconic role. It's probably what he's most known for, most famous for. Yojimbo, obviously, as well, we spoke yesterday about the Hidden Fortress being an influence on Star Wars. Well, this was quite literally remade as A Fistful of Dollars with Clint Eastwood. And who directed that? You know who directed it, the spaghetti westerns, the Dollars trilogy. Sergio. Put it in the comments, you know who it is. But Fistful of Dollars was a remake of this film, and Akira Kurosawa ended up suing him in the end. It was made without permission, and then it was remade again for modern audiences, starring Bruce Willis in a film called Last Man Standing. And the fact that it's a remake of Yojimbo is probably the most interesting thing about it, because that film was crap. But we'll talk about Yojimbo then, and then we'll do one film at a time. So basically this is 2 reviews back to back. So Yojimbo, you don't know where he comes from. It opens up with a sort of mountain view, and he's walking along a dusty road, and he picks up a stick, throws it up in the air, and where it lands, where it's pointing, that's where he goes. And he comes across a town that's been overrun by 2 rival gangs, and you find out that one member of a gang is split and formed his own gang, and they're basically running the town to the ground. As he comes into the town, you know this is a pretty bad town, because it's basically just a ghost town. That's how many times I can say town. And then a dog just runs across the road with a human hand hanging from his mouth. Genius, whoever thought of that. And he gets talking to a guy who runs a restaurant and says, the only person that makes any decent business around here is the coffin maker. And he sees things for what they are, and he goes to one gang and offers to be a service as a bodyguard. Then he goes to the other gang, and he's basically playing the gangs off against each other, killing one, making it look like it was the other gang, and basically just starts, or really kind of speeds up the war between the two gangs, and basically gets them to kill each other off. And there's relationships with the town folk. There's humour when needed. And there's a really cool thing with the son of one of the rival gangs. He comes back to the town and he has a gun. And this is symbolises the new age, really. It's the sort of end of the samurai. This is the new world arriving once guns are involved. Everything that comes with it is basically, I think, is what the film is pointing towards. And there's a bit at the beginning. He's surrounded by 3 other samurais. He gives it and kills one, and then bang, cuts the other one's arm off. Exactly the same shot as you see in Star Wars when Obi-Wan Kenobi takes the arm off that alien in the Star Wars bar, the Mos Eisley, yeah, exactly like that shot. Great stuff, and yeah, it's just a fantastic film. Probably one of the standard setters for samurai films going forward. I mean, I know I've started this with the 7 Samurai, but this wasn't the first samurai film by any stretch of the imagination. How far back do you want to go? But I think in terms of modern cinema, 7 Samurai is probably just the best place to start. So, and as I said, I'm learning as I'm going. I don't really know much about this genre or this lore, so that's why I'm doing this deep dive. We're reading books, we're going through a whole host of different films, and yeah, I must say though, Yojimbo, I've got to say it's an hour and 45 minutes long, and I did think it kind of dragged a little bit. And once it's a slow burner, but once it gets to where it's going, and once it comes to its conclusion, yeah, like the build up is worth it. It pays off, I guess. And yeah, it's got a great climax, and very good but very quick fight scenes. But again, like the way this is shot is just stunning. That you could buy stills from this film and you just frame them, and it's a film that's taken for granted because it's much like the spaghetti westerns, which I mentioned earlier. That the music and the so many comedies have taken to it. It's become a meme, but so many people have taken. I've mentioned two remakes that are official, but this film has been remade time and time again. It's become the template for both samurai and western films. Anything where, a drifter comes into a town and sees what's going on and sets it right, And yeah, so he leaves a trail of dead bodies, but he grants the town peace and then just moves on. And I think the hero always moves on from a town after freeing it because of the death that he's caused. In order to set the town free, it can inevitably become a curse and a constant reminder of what he's done. So therefore, maybe people will start to fear him. So it's best the job's done. Best I just move on. And then we go on to Sanjuro, where I do think Sanjuro is the better film. I think Yojimbo is probably better for the more important film for the canon. Probably more influential film, but I think Sanjuro just gets on with it, And Sanjuro's a bit more light-hearted and a bit more humorous. It's the same basic plot, really. It's a local town that's got the same sort of corruption, and he intervenes and plays people off against each other, just like in the first film. But the fight scenes are a bit better. bit more elaborate. And there's an iconic scene at the end where I might as well just tell you, won't I? Can you be told off for giving away spoilers for a film that was made in 1962? Yeah, 1961, 1962. So it's a 1-2 punch. Yeah, the Sanjuro and the main villain. Sanjuro again. It's 95 minutes, but I don't think it is as much of a slow burn, really. I should really go back to the beginning. You got a team of about 12 or so samurai, and they're talking about the predicament they're in. And then they just hear a yawn, and then out of the shadows comes Sanjuro, and he's like, "Oh, well, it's a free house. I was asleep." And they sort of get their swords out, and he went, "Look, if I wanted to fight or run, I wouldn't have woke up and let you know I was here. He went, but I can hear what you were talking about, and I think you should, you know." And he gives him advice, and basically says, "I'm a gun for hire, or I'm a sword for hire." And they look outside, and they realise that they're actually being surrounded. And he hides them under the floorboards and makes out he's been there the whole time on his own. And then, yeah, the plot snowballs from there, and the usual sort of stuff entails, but this film, yeah, like I said, it is a bit more light-hearted, and there's a lot more humour in there, and it's got an awesome scene towards the end, at the end, when he squares off against the main villain, and he says, like, "I don't want to do this. One of us is going to die," and the other guy's like, "I don't care. We're doing this." And then they just stand there, just staring at each other, and it feel like even now the tension, and again, it's one of those scenes it's everywhere. It's been used as memes. You've seen this scene without knowing what it's from, but they just stare, dead still, and the people in the background, you can see their, the material on their kimonos just waving in the wind, and it's just silent. And then he goes, and then bang, and then this big gush of blood comes out, and he's just like, and all this blood just spurting out of him. And this has been shown, like, this is with the blood. Do you remember Tenchu Stealth Assassins on PlayStation? Anything where there's, countless anime films where you get the shot across the screen and then just, stream of blood. This is obviously where it's come from, and it's brilliant. And I just had a quick look on YouTube before filming this. Apparently, they had this like thing, like tank underneath his kimono, filled with soda water and chocolate syrup. And then as he shot past, the guy like pressed this lever, and the pump just shot it all out. And because it's black and white, it looks black, it looks great. And it's really good films, really good fun films. And yeah, you, as with all of these films, really, it's you do just get lost in the imagery. You do just fall into these films. All of them are so beautiful to look at, But yeah, this is it. We've come to the end of the Akira Kurosawa section of the season. That's 5 films done. Yeah, I'm really glad I've watched these. I'm really glad I got this. And I'm feeling enriched and cultured. I could be one of those people at parties now, talking about, Japanese cinema. But yes, it's really good. It's really good stuff. I'm going to be taking a short break, not from Nightmare Cabin. I'm doing Pantera Cast tomorrow, and then I've got 3 night shifts coming up, and I'm not going to have time to watch any films. So what I'm going to do, I've started reading Hagakure. You can see there, I've got a load of post-it notes of stuff I want to read out to you. In fact, if I'd have started this earlier, because look, they read like poems. And if I'd started this earlier, and if I'd have known, I'd have probably started every one of these videos with just reading a passage from this. I think I mean, if I wasn't doing this for this, I would probably just go, right, I'm just going to read one of these a day. And then, yeah, read whatever else I'm reading, but then just pick one of these up and just read that a day. And, yeah, you could keep it for a year. But I'll be, over when I'm doing my 3 night shifts and I'm not going to be watching films, I'm going to be tackling this. I'm about that far into the book already. But, and then I will do a review of the Hagakure. And then next, after that, we'll be back on the films and I'll be doing the Samurai Musashi trilogy. And, yeah. So, it'll be business as usual on Nightmare Cabin. I'm definitely going to be doing Pantera Cast. I don't know if I've got any albums coming up. I've got a really cool interview being set up, actually. Not saying who yet though. Let's see if this camera focuses. There you go. And so yeah, I've got loads of other stuff going on. So this Samurai season is going to go on a bit longer than I'm going to have to pause it here and there, but I won't be pausing it for long. Once I start stuff, I do like to finish it. So, but yeah, that's the Akira Kurosawa. This guy is regarded by many as one of the great film directors. This is just a drop in the ocean. This is 5 samurai films. It's his 5 most popular. And I don't know if there's another volume of this, but I've seen that there's he's got the Kurosawa gangster collection, drama collection and stuff like that. So he's got a big body of work. And I would watch more of his films. Definitely I would. And Toshiro Mifune, apparently they made 17 films together. So, yeah, I'm really interested in investigating further. But as far as Yojimbo goes, he will be making a return, and Toshiro Mifune will be making a return when we get to Zatoichi meets Yojimbo. So there you go. It's not over. He is in this one, isn't he? Oh, maybe he's not. I thought he was. I'll get back to you on that one. But but yeah, anyway, we got this to get through before then. And yeah, I'm trying to think. Something's telling me I forgot to say something about this film. There was something I wanted to say about it, but I can't quite remember what it was. I think I covered everything. But yeah, awesome stuff. Carrying on with this next. And yes, if you have any films that you want added to this season, please let me know. Go back and watch the beginning video where I announce what I'm going to do, and I'll go through all the films I'm going to cover then. And yeah, if there's a samurai film that you think is missing, maybe a more modern one, please put it in the comments, and yeah, we'll cover that as well. This will go on as long as you want it to go on, basically. And it's going to go on for a while because I've got 4, including Hagakure, but yeah, after that I've got another 3 books to review, plus the 12-part manga. So there's plenty going on. So if you want to add to it, please let me know. Right, that's it for now, folks. I'll catch you later.